here we go. We are live on YouTube and only YouTube for another 6 weeks or so, Raleigh, North Carolina.
You almost said North Dakota. You realize that?
I almost said North Dakota. Know where the hell you live? I don't know where the hell you live. I forgot to set my tweet up. And of course, I'm in the Hamilton, Ontario. Welcome to Coffee Talk, episode 60. How can he hit that 3-point right at the end of the? Oh my God! Thank God it's on the list we're not talking about tonight.
Travel.
I'm just saying. I am just saying. Coffee Talk, episode number 68. How was graduation?
68. I built myself up for this big, emotional thing, and it was just like, all right, we're done. So, I'm glad it's over. Let's be honest. My parents were in town for a week, and they stayed at a campground about 30 minutes away from my house. So they weren't right on top of us, but, I felt like I needed to, make sure that, that they were taken care of, that there wasn't anything that I could help them with, things like that. So, it was good. It was a long week. It was a short week, but it was a long week. It was a crazy week. I can finally say it's over. But I just told you right before we went live, you didn't even see, last week we had the awards banquet for the soccer team, and Riley was able to present me with an award for all of the announcing that I've done over the last 3 years. So, yeah, pretty cool. They got me this little cup. It says that I am the Mike Master.
Nice.
Hawk Soccer Mike Master.
Nice.
And then I got a little certificate hanging behind me. So it was cool. She cried. I cried. Everybody else cried. It was a good time. So,
well, there you go.
How are you, Jeff? What you been up to?
Yeah, living the dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Swimming, gaming.
What's the temperature of the pool?
Still 72.
Oh, nice.
That's all it's ever going to be.
72 Celsius, right?
Yep.
No, we don't own the Lowe's hardware store. I wish. I really wish we did.
You're not heir to you're not heir to the Lowe's. Like the Walton family is heir to the Walmarts.
Actually, my dad was riding around down here. We have a Lowe's food, like a grocery store, and he was like, "Man, it's so funny seeing our name all over the place, and we ain't got shit to show for it." Like, yep. Thanks a lot, Dad. Way to leave me something behind.
Well, he should. Maybe there's a long lost heir. He should look it up.
Maybe there's some relative somewhere that we fell off the wagon.
Mm-hmm. He was going to use fortune, but bricks and mortar aren't doing so good.
No.
Big week for SPG. He was under the knife. But now he's recovered.
He lives to tell another day and another tale.
He has recovered, and he's 115%. It's awesome.
That's amazing. What a transformation.
I know. He's no longer bionic.
A couple of weeks ago, though, he probably didn't want to have too many conversations.
Nope.
So, good for you, dude. Good for you.
He just ripped off the last Band-Aid. There you go. There you go.
I hope there was a lot of hair under it. I hope it was a real son of a bee. Hope your toes curled when you ripped that bad boy off.
Yepers.
Jeff, it's not looking good for your Dallas.
And then we're not discussing that. Guys don't know that yet, but we're not discussing. We're not discussing championship games. I am just happy that Dallas Stars are not in the championship game. I'm just happy they're not.
Yeah, if they were, you'd have the trifecta going, huh?
Yeah, that would put a lot of pressure on another team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, luckily, we don't have to face that pressure.
Well, I know the Rangers aren't in Dallas, but it's still Texas, right? So,
their stadium is right next to where the Cowboys play.
Is it?
It's right next door.
I didn't realize that.
It's right next door.
Oh, I thought it was a little ways away the other direction. I didn't realize that they were both
right next door. No, because remember they play in Arlington.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So Arlington, the baseball stadium's right next door, and then right after that is Six Flags.
I'm shocked that Jerry hasn't gotten his hands on the Rangers yet.
Well, the NFL and their ownership rules. So I know you're going to look at Stan Kroenke, and he owns all these other things too. But, yeah.
Well, there's always ways, right? And he's used his ways.
Mm-hmm.
Purple Haze, let's go.
I can let you know, though, there will be CD Lamb discussions once Dallas is done. Whatever that is, there will be CD Lamb announcements, but not until then. So
4 years, 160. What do you think?
At least more. I hope it's more. I hope it's $1 billion a year. Yeah, and part ownership of the team.
They can pay for it.
And part ownership.
They can pay for
it. Part ownership of the team. Like all those others. Cool. Yeah. All right. So we get into the show?
I think so.
You're gonna have nothing to do now because the girl's done school until you move to until you get that little apartment, that little place, right?
Jeff,
it's gonna be right nearby. It's gonna be like it's gonna be a little place. You're gonna have the drone. You're gonna be flying the drone over her, looking into her room at night and across the campus. And whenever there's get-togethers, you're gonna be zooming the drone, looking for her. You're gonna have AI scanning the crowd. You're using the Google AI because the Google already knows who she is because it's in all the Google photos, right? So it's gonna scan and it's gonna go. There's Riley, and then you're gonna send her a text going, "Get out of there."
Get the alert.
Yeah,
I'll get the alert.
Yeah.
Her mom is a part-time employee for like the concert venues. She'll sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
More for her to get out of the house, but she also loves music and
get away from you.
Gives her a chance to listen to the concerts, right? Make a little bit of money, and she loves to people watch, so she likes to watch all the drunk people. But they have a concert venue right beside the college that she can work at, and
never gonna happen.
She already told Riley that if she can work a concert there, she's going to come stay at her dorm. Like, oh my God. This girl's never going to lose us, Jeff.
So Todd is going to jail.
Yeah, Todd's going to jail.
Todd's going to jail.
I don't think I'd do well at a college campus.
I
think I'd be
Chapel
Will
Hill
Ferrell
Police. We have to subscribe to the Chapel Hill, North Carolina police blog. So and put some alerts in for Todd Lowe. I'm gonna add that to my Google alerts. Todd Lowe, North Carolina.
You see it in the news.
Yeah. Then I can prepare for you not to be around for coffee talk because your phone call.
You'll know before I'll be able to tell you.
Your one phone call should not be calling into the show.
Maybe that's what it should be. How long does a collect call happen from jail? What do you get, like 5 minutes?
You could be one of the fraternity chaplains. There you go.
There you go. Fraternal chaplain. I'm going to go streaking. That's what it is. That's going to be Will Ferrell in Old School if I get down there. So we walked into the gymnasium and I was watching all the kids play like pickup basketball when we went down there. And I was just like, oh my God, this is atrocious.
You're like, I could beat all of these. I want in on the game. Let me in on the game.
I did.
Let me in on the game. You guys are the
crap.
Wife's
like, you can't.
Is this why you guys always lose to Duke? This is why you guys always lose to Duke. Like, really?
Yeah. Well.
Frank the Tank. Here you go. Yeah, Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
On an episode of Bert Kreischer's on his episode of the Smokin' Bandits or whatever the hell that thing is called. He had Fluffy and he had the guy from the sauce guy that and now we eat. Now at first we eat. At first we feast. That guy, Sean Adams. Sean Evans. And he was making breakfast and he says that his kids are in college, the girls. And they come home at 2 a.m. They want him to make something. He goes, I would go and become like the fraternity chef and just make food for them every morning. And he thought that was great. So
I'll be the dad getting the phone call. Can you hang a TV? Can you come hang these curtains? I'll get those phone calls. Nobody wants my cooking.
No, you'll be doing that. When you move her in.
Yeah, probably.
You'll be doing all of that. Actually, I'm not sure if you can hang stuff. Does she have a roommate or is she?
She actually has suite mates. So she has one roommate, and then there's a suite mate that she has, like 2 other suite mates. So it's four girls share one space. So they get like a bathroom and a common area between them. So it's pretty cool. It's like a little apartment.
One bathroom for 4 girls?
One bathroom for 4 girls, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there, so, whatever works.
All right, well, let's kick this bad boy off because we had a big weekend.
Yeah, let's do it. If you haven't, you can catch Coffee Talk.
And you haven't, because I know, because I see
the hell is Gignac and Jeff?
Okay. And you haven't.
Who the hell is Gignac?
I don't know how to change that.
Jeez, that guy.
I don't know how to change it. I don't know how to change it. I gotta figure out how to
catch all of our episodes on the Spotify.
Yeah, you better look sad, you dumbass. Fire your ass.
And you have a new video that's going live right after this.
We do. I do. I finally played Crestfallen, a medieval survival game. And I'm running around in medieval times. Don't look at the thumbnail. Don't look at the thumbnail of the don't look at the thumbnail. Do not look at the thumbnail. I'm surprised YouTube allowed the thumbnail.
Is it a medieval 2 thumbnail?
I could have gone that way. Medieval. I could have taken my character once he was all medievaled up. I went the other way when he was just in his tighty whities. That's the image I used.
Ooh.
And of course, I stuck my head on top.
Nobody likes a tighty whitey shot, Jeff.
Well, it's from the game. So there we go.
Hey, top stories, showcases.
12 showcases and one more tomorrow. Let's go.
One more tomorrow.
You've
got a post of the week.
I do.
We've got a Chats Corner Collective kitties. Post.
It's about
kidneys. Kitties, that's right.
Kitties. My post of the week is about kitties. The chat
KIDDIES, yes.
No, kitties. KITT. Our Chat Corner Collective is from the Crow Resin. Mm-hmm. We got a bunch of shit we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and then you're going to give me some 5 guesses. We're not going to talk Caitlin Clark. I feel like there's Caitlin Clark news every single week, and I'm just kind of over it at this point now. Let's just play some basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk specifics about the NHL NBA matchups. Okay, no details there. Jeff doesn't want to talk about the details of who is playing in the championships. Okay?
No, I don't. I'm just glad that there.
Plethora of space news that we didn't get to cover this week, so we won't talk about it. And porn on X. Need we say more? Do we really need to talk about it? You've been seeing it in your chats. You've been seeing it everywhere. Mm-hmm. Just deal with it.
Although Crow asked a good question about this because he thought in some states like Texas and others, and we need people who live in Texas to fact check us on this. Maybe Purple Haze knows. There's some new laws that if you are going to do stuff, you have to prove you're over 18. You just can't click a little box and says I'm over 18. You actually have to prove it with photo ID and stuff. And
can't do CAPTCHA and be in.
Yeah, but you got to actually provide, you got to show your driver's license or your passport or birth certificate to say, yes, I'm actually over 18. I think there's some laws, Crow thought, in some states. So if that is a law in a state that you know of, let us know.
Interesting. I know I saw something that was about an edited version of X. That's something that they're going to work on. But hey,
we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. No.
All right, let's do it.
Summer Games Fest. Summer Games Fest this weekend. There were 12 and plus one more tomorrow. 13 showcases highlighting today with Xbox. But of course, it started Friday with 3 showcases, 4 straight hours. I know there are people who were live for, doing commentary for those 4 hours. So at least they should have been. So
Call of Duty was the big name. It was announced day and date to Game Pass, right? I told you it was already for pre-sale on Steam, so they've already push that out to the PC players.
306 gigabytes allegedly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Because I saw a post and somebody posted about it, and they said, "What will you do?" or how many? Or they commented something, and I said, "Well, I'm going to play in the cloud, so it's 0 bits. I use bits on purpose. 0 bits for me because if I play it, I'll play it in the cloud." So,
can Call of Duty bring me back to streaming, Jeff?
I think it could. I think it could. All right. Purple Haze says only certain people have to prove stuff like that, even though it's not good enough. But I digress. Oh, all right then. Cool. Okay.
Not just Call of Duty though. There are a lot of games that Xbox was talking about today. Some of them we've already known about. Indiana Jones, Fable, to name a few. State of Decay 3 is a game that I'm excited about. I love State of Decay 2, and that Atom Fall game I thought looked really good. But then there's going to be a lot of DLC for some already, established games, Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout. So
yeah, SPG, are you excited? SPG's in the chat. Are you excited about the new Fallout content? I know you're a big Fallout guy, or at least used to be. I know Crow and Rouster. We're in Purple's chat discussing the new Diablo. Well, Bruce is another Diablo guy. He's here. He's waving in the back. Bruce, we got the video. We got the intro to play properly with your intro. Big shout out, big thank you to Bruce for the new intro music.
I just saw what SPG wrote.
I am running out of shows for Bruce to make intro music for. I need more shows. He's got more intro music. I need more shows. I'm running out of.
Amazing, Bruce. You the man. Man.
He says it looks cool. Dune makes you lose your mind. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. There. Yeah. Yeah. Dune looked 2 thumbs up. There you go.
I think this is a healthy list of games, I would say, right? You got some Dragon Age in there. You got some Fable. You got some RPGs. You got some action. You got some shooters. New Metal Gear Solid game coming. That's going to be great. So I think it'll be nice. But one of the rumors that really had me going today was that they might tease a handheld Xbox. And although we didn't get to see a handheld Xbox, they did talk to Phil about it. He was quoted as saying, "Look, this was about the games. We are excited to talk about what's coming up for the platform in the future." But they did talk about a few things hardware related, right, Jeff? The 2 terabyte Series X, the white 1 Series Series X, and then you had dropped some knowledge on me there. They're all going to be future compatible.
I think that's what it said. Yeah, generational proof. I believe generational proof was the word they used.
And how do you get generational proof?
I don't know. Magic? Maybe something swappable? I don't know. Maybe it's all AI, so maybe they can just send a patch that will, make it faster. I don't know. It's all software driven. They could do that. Send a patch down. You just load a patch and something like that. Going back a slide where Phil was talking about hardware, he was on, as I mentioned in Purple Stream, that our second favorite Phil was on IGN Live. IGN Live this weekend no one's talking about IGN Live, but IGN Live was this weekend. Shout out to Thor and Ludwig. They're coming together to do a game publishing entity. They had a lot of game stuff that didn't get showcased. They had showcased. I saw a couple of things. I don't remember what they are now. So that's how much stuff is in my brain and how many I got, like pages and
it's like a little bit of overload, huh?
Pages and pages of notes. But they were talking to Phil, and the guy asked him about this, and he said, "Hey, this weekend is all about the games. We'll talk about that in the future." And the host said, hypothetically, and he's like, "All right, hypothetically," he goes, if there was a console, would it be locally playable, or would it be, enabled through Wi-Fi or something? And he said, we would want people to play locally. So whatever that means. You interpret that. You interpret that the way. So
some of the rumors I heard about that Xbox handheld were basically a Steam Deck, right?
He says he has a Steam Deck and a Rogue and a Legion, and he likes them all, and so yeah. So, oh yeah, that first person zombie parkour game. Yeah, that looked kind of cool. But yeah, the Xbox thing, 18 of the games are coming day and date to Game Pass.
Mhm.
So,
Well, and you're gonna
everybody,
get the
shout out to everybody in Cyborg City, because there's gonna be no end of gaming for them to be able to do.
you're
So
gonna get more Sea of Thieves action as well
there's
in
more
there.
Sea of Thieves content coming out. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they
That'll be
did it.
good
They
for
dropped a
community
trailer.
sharing.
Yeah, they topped a trailer a couple months ago, talking about season 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and all the stuff they're working on for the future seasons.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah. So yeah, good times.
Well, we had some other ones that were going on. We had the Women-led Games Summer Game Fest. You were hip on this one, checking out some of the games that they had over there.
So you're gonna get to it. There was actually a show on Thursday, which you're gonna get to, the Guerrilla Collective, where I first saw a game called Just Crow Things, where you're a little crow, and then they showed it on this because it was done by a development team led by women. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So it was definitely on the list. And then they showcased a bunch of other. Oh, Bruce is going to bed. Good night.
Good night, Bruce.
So yeah. They showcased a bunch of cool games that are on the list that I've reached out for, and we're gonna see where that goes. So,
I was building out the show. I'm looking for different tweets. One thing that drives me nuts is that nobody just uses a picture anymore. Like, why does everything have to be a video?
More engagement.
But a lot of the comments that I was reading about the Summer Games Fest were not kind. A lot of people were saying, "Why am I watching this when I could be watching Xbox showcase things like that?" So didn't sound like they had a stellar show today. Has the Summer Games Fest, just the showcase of it, the event of it, has it kind of run its hoopla now, Jeff? Now that everybody's going to all these individual ones.
Well, we'll have to see. There was also an article floating around this weekend, which I think I sent to you, with last year's pricing, and they thought this year's pricing was more or less the same. And I saw, in conversations I've had with a few of my PR friends, some of these, they're paying a good hefty sum. And I know there are some people that's just going to say, oh, it's just, whatever company's paid to be on the show, and they're going to speak negatively of this. Jeff has been criticized for not showing as many indie stuff, and I know he went out of his way to bring some, indie devs and get some stuff in there. I don't know if that was for free or at a lesser cost or whatnot. So yeah, we'll have to see.
He should own Stadia, so I don't like him.
We'll have to see.
You also had the PC gaming show going on. A lot of partners working with the PC
2 hours,
gaming show.
2 hours this afternoon. There was a lot of there was some crossover, but there was some other stuff in there that looked quite interesting. And I'm like, oh, it's kind of a cool. Yeah, okay, I'll check that out. Okay, I'd have to go back to my massive list that I have in a massive Google document, which I don't have open.
You watched all 2 hours of that thing?
I did.
Man, you are.
It rained today.
What about the future game show?
I watched all 2 hours of that too.
Nice.
Again, just more trailers, some repeats. Obviously, some repeats of stuff I'd already seen, and some other stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. All right, I'll put that on the list. I have multiple lists.
This is that indie game showcase you're talking about, the Guerrilla Collectives. Okay, so this one was where you found out about the.
That's where I first found out about that, and there was another one, Crypt Custodian, looked kind of cool. So again, and I used to say this a lot back in the Stadia days, when everybody was complaining about not having the quadruple A games on Stadia, and it was just smaller indie games. I'm like, but that's what I prefer. I would much rather play a game from a small indie dev or a small team of 2 to 10 or whatever it might be, than the Call of Duties and the Ubisofts and the whatever.
We've seen it time and time again, though. Where the big games are just not living up to the hype. There's too much at stake for them for the time frame that they're given to be able to do things. Where when you look at some of these smaller devs that are just busting out stuff out of pure passion because it's their They're not punching in, right? They're not clocking in and clocking out. So
Nope.
I feel like you get a little bit more love there in the product.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll find out tomorrow. You got Ubisoft Forward tomorrow, right? So
yeah, and I'll watch it.
You know a lot of it already, though.
I'm actually gonna probably end up watching. I'm probably not gonna watch it live because I have a job like you. I'll probably catch the replay. Most of these are on weekends.
Who you lying?
So.
You're gonna have it on one of the 10 TVs in your basement.
I probably will. I probably will. But yeah, going back to some of the indie games, some of the games I'm like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a different little art style. Oh, that's a little bit of this. That's a little bit of that. All right, kind of cool. All right. Yeah. And there's a couple of them. There's a new Five Nights at Freddy game coming out, which I saw. I think I saw on the Guerrilla Collective on Thursday, but I didn't see it ever again on the weekend. And then because it says it goes back to the beginning, and there's Jeff's Pizza, so I have to play that because Jeff's Pizza's in it. It's like, what the hell? And funny. Then there was a couple other things, and then these are all coming to Game Pass. And when Phil was interviewed just on live on IGN Live, this was all going like around 8 to 9. Someone asked him about Game Pass and this and that, and he says, when I wake up in the morning, I look to see how many people played the games. I don't look to see who played it here and who played it there and who played it. That's why they're putting their games like Sea of Thieves on other platforms, so people can play the games. It's just about playing the game. So when I see people make tweets on Threads going, oh, what games are coming to Xbox in 20? Who cares? Change it to what games are coming out in 2024. Who cares where they are? If they're on Xbox, go play them on Xbox or Game Pass. If they're on PC, go play them on PC or GFN or Boostoroid or wherever you play your PC games if you don't have it. Who cares if it's on Switch? If it's on Switch, go play it on Switch. Like, who cares? Play the game. Play the game that you want to play.
I really need to hear about this Nintendo Switch 2 because I'm getting.
Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody? Doesn't everybody?
So, Nintendo needs to hurry up. Well, sweet. A lot of stuff on your mind this weekend.
We'll see what happens. There's going to be a lot of sponsored games coming up in the next few months, so stay tuned. A lot of the games, there's a lot of fun games that I think I'm going to be checking out. And Steam Fest, the Steam Next Fest started. What day is it today? Starts tomorrow. Starts on the 10th. Starts tomorrow. It started last week. Where's my calendar? I got to go back to my calendar.
Was that a block or was that a foul?
Summer games. No. Where is it? Steam Next Fest starts tomorrow. That's right. Starts tomorrow. Okay. So there's a lot of demos, a lot of stuff coming out over next Steam Fest. So over the next week or so, there's a lot of cool games. I'm going to be playing a bunch of demos. I may have to take some days off next week from streaming. # days off. # mental health. # do it with your Ray's not here. All right. When Ray gets here,
it is Men's Mental Health Month. By the way,
the fuck is that? What nonsense is that?
I mean, it's a month to reflect on one's mental health.
What nonsense is that?
Oh, I guess it depends on which one you're going for, Purple Haze. I'm in the 0-2 bucket myself.
We're not discussing that, Purple. How do you delete a chat? Can I delete a comment? How do you delete a? How do you?
Oh. Let's talk about this post of the week here, Jeff.
Hang on, I gotta turn that TV off so I don't have to stare at that nonsense.
The post of the week is not necessarily about the post itself, but about the subject of the post.
Roaring Kitty is back, folks. Roaring Kitty is back, and for those of you who don't know who he is, he became famous because he was the guy that was shorting and doing all of the stuff around GameStop. And they made a movie about him and all of that. And he hasn't said a peep in 3 years. And then in May, he was doing all these cryptic sort of memes. And then he said, I'm coming back and I'm going live on Friday. And there was 500,000 or more of us when the stream started, and he was just rambling nonsense. I had different meetings, so I just kept it open. I kept coming back and forth, and he was just rambling on. He had GameStop open. He was talking a little. GameStop went down afterwards, but it had nothing to do with him. Even him coming back couldn't get GameStop to come back to life. So
there were a couple of real weird things going on last week.
And GameStop reported early because of all the nonsense. That's right.
What is Warren Buffett's big stock?
Coca-Cola?
No. I want to say it was Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire Hathaway? That's the company. Yes.
It went down to like $20 a share for like an hour and a half in some kind of a glitch. And they said if you had bought $500 worth of the stock when that happened, if you had caught on to it, you would have made a couple of $1 million by like 9 a.m. in the morning. Something crazy like that, right?
Yeah, but something tells me they would have fixed it and you wouldn't have got that money.
I guess it's just amazing to me how much a small influence can have in such a large space, right? Mm-hmm. And so with him coming out and we were talking about this in the chat, right? I kind of understand. I don't understand the over inflation idea and how he kind of flooded that market and screwed up the value of everything. But GameStop, of all things, GameStop. Have you been to a GameStop lately? They're hard to find.
So where was I? What was I doing? Oh, I was we ordered Chinese food. And so we were running a bunch of errands, and we said we're getting Chinese food. Okay. We had all these errands to run. We finished our last errand, and we were on the other side of town. And so we called, and we said we'd like to place an order for pickup, knowing it would take me about 25 minutes to drive from where I was to there. And she went, "Yeah, no problem. 30 minutes. Oh, okay." Well, I know I hit all the lights and there was no traffic, and I was there in 15. I was there in 15 minutes, and it's like, crap, I still got 15 minutes to kill before I was not even speeding. I was going the speed limit, but I hit the lights. I just hit a lull in traffic, and it was like, oh, all right. And I went, oh, there's a GameStop. You know what? I'm going to stick my head in GameStop. All right. I went and stuck my head in GameStop. There was a sign on the door saying that day was their last day. And that location was shutting down.
Doesn't surprise me.
And the other location at the mall, which is up the street from my house, was the next closest location. So it's funny you should say that, because the last time I went to a GameStop, and I went in seeing maybe they're going to discount some stuff. Maybe they'll have some inventory on set. Nothing. They're just going to box it all up and ship it to another store.
Another store.
But yeah, so it's funny you say that. The GameStop. If I had gone the next day, that GameStop would have been closed. I happened to get there, and so I looked around, and then I went in, and as I walked in, a little bit early, they were bringing out my Chinese food. So it's funny you asked me about the last time I was in a GameStop. So
I'm reading Purple Haze's comment there.
I think GameStop is the brand that a lot of people would buy into the hype, and just enough disposable income to spend would recognize, and that's how I rationalize it. Well, that could be. A lot of older people who remember going to GameStops and buying stuff at GameStops. No one, SPZs, the youngins like SPG and the Willie Lowe's and, the youngins, right? They,
I think it's just hard for GameStop, the idea of GameStop, because we're moving beyond the physical age. There's collectors.
But
we are in a sense, because everything is now a license, right? So
truth, but you don't own it. But you don't own it. So if you don't own it, so.
But even if you have the disc, right? Even if you had it, let's say you have an Xbox Series X, so you can have the disc, right? You go get the disc. You still have to have the license for that disc, right? But you have then the copy of the disc to hold on to physically. It's still not yours. It's just the artwork at that point.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have the disc, then you can still,
For a lot of younger, younger kids that are growing up in this day and age, they're not getting physical. They're buying everything digital.
No. Crow is going to correct me because
Blockbuster.
Crow is going to correct me. There is a Van Halen album that is only available on physical, and I don't remember the name, and I know Crow knows it because him and I've talked about it before. But David Lee Roth didn't like it, and so they never released it to streaming. They won't allow it to be streamed anywhere, so you can't play it on the Netflix or the YouTube Music or whatever. Only available in physical. And there are people, because the stuff says you don't own these games, you don't own them. So a lot of people are, buying the physical copies just so they, and playing the physical version so they have it. Yeah.
Well, older especially is always going to be, the way physical. I mean, you kind of have to, unless you're going to have an emulator or something.
Yes.
I see video games going.
What, you later?
What? Emulator.
What, you later?
I see video games.
Why are you swearing at me?
Right. And where you can find a lot of toys that are older are in antique shops. And I think you're going to see a lot more video games in antique shops myself.
You already do.
Yeah.
You already do.
Yeah.
You already do. Anytime I'm out of town somewhere and I see like an antique shop, I go in because I'm looking for old gaming stuff because they're there.
You'd be amazed what you can find in somebody else's junk.
Oh, I know.
For sure.
Oh, I know.
All right, let's move in. Chat's Corner Collective this week was donated to us by somebody. Krausen.
Yep.
Krausen gave us this Chat's Corner Collective this week. I think this is it's just a crow thing. It's just a crow thing. It's just a crow thing. Oh, he said Van Halen, a different kind of truth. Look at that coming in from the top rope.
There you go. That's it. I couldn't remember the name, but I knew Crow and I have discussed this before. It's the only Van Halen album that's you have to, because I was listening to somebody and I can't remember if it was Keith Roth or if it was Tommy on S Sirius, but he's like, you know what, get those physical. Don't get rid of those physical discs because there are situations like this. Anyways, thank you, Crow. Knew Crow would do it. So except for Ray, and I know Ray. Every weekend he's going to not every weekend, but he's always going to the movies. Like you talk to Ray and he's like, oh yeah, my wife and I went to this movie and wife and I and the kid went to this movie or kid wants to see this movie. So except for Ray, I don't know too many other people who are going to movies.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that being said, I have gone, my Gignac has gone to a couple, but they were special anime releases, stuff that was being released in theater before the next, season of the show. So he went to those. But yeah, a lot of us are just waiting around. We're like, like look at the Fall Guys movie, not the game. It was on streaming, like, and still in the theaters. It was there like 2 weeks, and you could rent it.
Well, didn't that Mario movie come out in theaters and online at the same time or right after?
No, because Gignac and I went and saw it at the drive-in because we wanted to see it. We wanted to see it day and date, so we went to the drive-in to see it. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know how many people are still going to movies, and are they just happy to wait? I know a lot of people I talk to, they're just happy to. They're like, oh, is it going to be out in a month on Netflix or the Plus or the something? I'll just wait. I can wait.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that Jason Statham movie where he was the beekeeper that came out in January. It was finally on Prime, and I finally got around to watching it. I saw it in May instead of January. Oh well.
This goes back to what SPG was talking about with the video games earlier too. I mean, these things are just way too expensive now to make, right? When you have these couple $100 million budgets, it's really hard to recoup that money if it's not what people want, and it's a huge risk to take when you make these massive flicks. How many failed films has Jason Bay had before he started catching on with all of his explosions and Transformers and the like? Right now he became a really hot director after a lot of the Transformers movies came to fame because they were so big. But he's had bombs too, right? it's not fun to go out and spend money doing something that you can do in the comfort of your home. But some people need to get out. Some people need to feel a different space, a different environment. I mean, I work at home, I'm dying to get out by the end of the day, whether it's riding my bike, going to the store, whatever it is. My wife and I would look at going to the movies like a date night, because we'd have to plan it out that way financially. Like, all right, we got to get dinner, we got to do the movies and popcorn, this and that, and we got to do the matinee because we'll save a couple bucks there. But I just don't know of too many movies that have been that great, here lately, that haven't been directly released to streaming. There hasn't been anything that I've been like, I gotta go. You used to go like the Star Wars movies, right? Used to always want to go see the Star Wars movie when it came out, but now they're just gonna wind up putting it out on Disney Plus. What's the point?
So we'll have to circle back and see how well the Deadpool movie does.
I think that's a little bit different peak, because it plays into that we don't really care kind of mantra. And I think that appeals to people. I think people appeal to Deadpool a lot because of the, F it. You know what I mean? So I could see them going to see that in theaters.
Well, we'll have to see.
You could also see people pirating it too.
Oh yeah. And the other one that Biggle Mac and I want to see is Despicable Me 4.
Gru.
Yeah. Are we going to go see that in the theater? Are we going to be two old guys in the theater with a bunch of kids? Or are we just going to wait until it comes out on streaming? We'll have to see on that.
I already told my kids I've got no shame going and sitting and watching a cartoon.
There you go.
No shame at all.
There you go.
I like this number 3 line in here. It's just too fucking expensive. $100+ for a movie night out for the family. I mean, it's tough.
It would be more than that for the 4 of you to go somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure if Ray was in the chat, he'd probably tell us it probably, for the 3 of them to go, and then you're probably getting popcorn and a drink and a combo, and it's probably $150.
That large drink is probably $10 now, if not more.
Yeah,
$10, $12.
Yeah, it's probably $150 for him to go to a movie. Him, Nicole, and Evan. He's not in the chat, but if he was, he probably drops it.
You got to think about what that money can do for you in another way too, right? Yep. I mean, that could be a tank of gas and 4 nights of food.
Yep.
So, for what? Mad Max? No thanks.
Yeah. Well, there you go. So, thank you to Crow for sending this over.
Thank Crow.
He sent this over a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to bring it back up because we were talking video games and expensive how games are and stuff. Well, it's expensive to do everything. So
he says, I'd rather watch movies at home. I can make my own food and pause for bathroom breaks.
Something important when you get to our age. That's important.
I was going to make a joke, but I didn't know if it was too sensitive of a subject. So
no.
All right, let's get into some Did You Hear About, Jeff. This was sad news starting your week off last week. Larry Allen, longtime Cowboy, ended his career with the 49ers, won a couple Super Bowls. Offensive lineman passed away. Had an awesome play where he was able to chase down a defender that had intercepted the ball and get a huge tackle from behind. It's one of the most athletic offensive lineman plays I think I've seen, outside of maybe Trent Williams doing some of the stuff that he does. But
over this week, there were a lot of videos of him at Pro Bowls and other things where he was benching, 700 pounds. At one of the skills things, he did the 225 like 48 times or something. Yeah. Like he was just a beast.
He's a beast of a human.
He is. Emmett did a video, basically in tears, thinking about his longtime friend and teammate. So
a lot of those yards that Emmett got wouldn't have been made possible without Larry Allen. So
no, that's right.
Yeah.
Bro says movies are 3+ hours now. So yeah, you got to.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis is the home to the U.S. swim trials. Took place this weekend. Look at that. They got an entire Olympic-sized swimming pool inside of the football stadium. That is a cool view.
I've seen lots of videos where they transform overnight, from hockey to basketball because there's like a hockey game,
it's amazing.
And then the next day is basketball or vice versa, and you just see the time lapse of them
like little ants.
yeah, taking it, putting all the boards and stuff down. I couldn't imagine the logistics of trying to build an entire pool and then filling.
Did you see the video of the Colts mascot jumping in? So I'm watching this mascot jump in the pool, and I'm like, how are you going to get out? Not because of the ladder or anything. I just imagine that suit is going to take on so
lot, man.
Oh man!
It's probably the first time it's going to get clean. All that chlorine and stuff, it's actually going to get clean. So I don't know how often they clean those mascot costumes, but
well, and here's another way that an owner in Jim Irsay found to make money. Right, he's able to host. Not him, I get it. I just say that because he's the owner of the stadium. But they're able to utilize their space for another type of event that they didn't build this for, right? We keep talking about all these shopping areas around stadiums and this and that. I mean, that's why they want to do that, because if they can get the draw, now they can keep people there. So very, very cool what they did with Lucas Oil.
Yep.
Apple, some new news about Apple. iOS 18 is coming out. A lot of cool stuff that people are talking about. AI, improved Siri, being able to lock your apps with your face, not your whole phone, but individual apps. There's going to be some new things in here with iMessage, emojis, Safari, a new calculator app, which is probably good. And then a hearing aid mode for AirPods Pro. I thought that was pretty interesting. My family, we've got some hearing issues going on with some of our members, so that might be able to help them. And then Apple CarPlay is getting a revamp.
The RCS supported messages, that's going to be interesting, because there's always been that big debate between iPhone people and Android people, and the green bubble versus the blue bubble, and that whole piece, and how they said, yeah, we'll do it kind of limited and blah, blah, blah. So we'll have to see if this is a full RCS. I know we talked about it, many, many shows ago, about them, potentially doing this, but they were like, but they were only going to half-ass it enough to shut up people and regulators and things like that. So we'll have to see.
The only thing that bothers me with that whole thing is just like videos and photos trying to send back and forth, right? The text, I don't care about the green bubble thing. That doesn't bother me. But if somebody from an iPhone tries to send me a video, it does not compress, right? Like, it's just horrible. And then so I'm like, just save it in Google Photos and send me a link, man. Like, it's the best way to do it. So, anyway.
Yeah, before it didn't really drive me nuts, but somebody would, do an emoji and it would go, Todd Lowe sends you a thumbs up. Instead of the actual emoji, it would be Todd Lowe sent you a smiley, a smile face or something, because it couldn't translate the picture. It had to make it words, right?
It frustrates me when my friend group, they all put me in a group chat and they all like thumbs up, or they'll like the text or something, and it'll be like, whatever their name is, liked the post. It's like, I just show me the thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, if RCS comes in properly, then it will.
That will.
But it may not, maybe not. Yep. So there you go.
GOG. We've talked about some GOG before. Website where you can buy discounted games. They've also got their own game player app. And so any games that you've purchased through them that you can play there. Like we've talked about with Steam, you can't pass your games on once you go to your next life. But GOG will let you if you can prove it. So after you die, if you can prove to them that you're dead, you can pass your games on to somebody else. So kudos to GOG, keeping that digital landscape alive by allowing us to pass our digital files on to the next of kin.
So I knew GOG, or some people call it GOG, but they're also the same people that call Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF. So what do they know?
FNAF.
I know that you could buy discounted games. I don't think I ever have, but I know you could. I didn't really know they had their own player and they had their own thing until recently. And as I was watching a few of trailers. Well, I watched all the trailers, but as I was watching the game stuff, a few of them, and I don't know how many, I'm going to say a handful, maybe less than 10, had, it would have Steam and Epic and placed, and it had the little GOG logo. So, which I thought was kind of interesting because, a lot of times wish listed on Steam, and sometimes they have Steam, and then a few of them, more of them had the Epic. You could also get it at the Epic Game Store. And if you do buy something from Epic, use code Jeff Gignac, #ad, #Epic Partner.
#Epic Partner.
Epic Partner. But yeah, GOG has their own little thing, and I saw a handful of games that had the little GOG logo. So good, shout out for them. Cool.
Yeah. So at least, I'm thinking a lot of things that come up in that digital conversation is that you don't own them, right? Well, at least in this case, you'd be able to let them be played on. That's always important.
My family doesn't want to play the games I own on Steam when I'm alive.
Your boys will want to play Leisure Suit Larry.
They don't want to play it when I'm alive. They're not going to want to play it when I'm dead.
Maybe they will.
Because, there's this whole family sharing thing. And I said to them, do you have games? Do you guys want to? They're like, no.
Jeff, Father's Day is coming up. These kids have got to start treating you with a little bit more respect. Okay. You know what they should get you? They should get you a burger driver. That's right. No. Arby's has created the burger driver, and they are giving away 3 of them for Father's Day. And so if your boys truly, truly love you, they will put you in the running for the burger driver. You think about that? You think you could smack that down the fairway nice and straight?
No.
A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato.
I don't think I could do that with a regular putter. So.
Crow said GOG is supposed to link their games to Luna at some point. I saw that too. So
no, that's true. That is true.
But that is true. Even though you
group
can play...
chats were invented by the devil, says the guy who's in several group chats with me. But that's besides the point. That is GOG. That is true. That is true.
Even though you've got the Ubisoft channel on Luna, you still can't play X Defiant there. That's interesting.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Crow.
Yes,
you're not right. Just wait till September, Crow, when his little baby girl goes away, and you just wait.
It's gonna be great, Jeff. You keep reminding me of it every chance you get.
So, we may do something for Father's Day next weekend.
Nice.
We may. I have a tentative. I have a tentative approval that it could happen, but nice. It's a game day decision. So to make a long story long,
Rose doing a face reveal.
Nice. No, he's not my father.
Depends
unlike Ray, who's my daddy. No. My father back in the 50s used to bowl and was a bowling champion. He has several bowling trophies because he was a bowling champion. And he met my mother via bowling. They both tell my mother tells a vastly different version of the story. My dad has no version of the story, but my mother tells a vastly different version of that story. Anyways, as you may or may not know, Gignac works part-time at the local bowling alley. So I said to my dad, because we've talked about it before, and I said, what about trying bowling again, 5-pin? It's easy on Father's Day. And he goes, if I feel up to it, sure, let's do it. So we've booked it. We've booked a lane. We've got it there. And if his legs are feeling good and he feels up to it, we're going to maybe try bowling with the old guy.
So are you just gonna do the show from the bowling alley?
Well, the bowling alley's closed by the time the show starts, but I will probably have video.
I think we need a special exception. Okay.
Do the show from the bowling
alley for the love. Okay. Can't he just leave the lights on for you like Motel 6?
Maybe, but he doesn't have keys.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He
yes.
doesn't
Those pesky
close.
keys.
He doesn't have
will
keys
stop
or
you.
code to the alarm. So no, we can't do the show
What good
from
is he
there.
then? My gosh.
And Daddy's in bed by this time. So
Yeah, all right. Well,
yeah.
if you can make it happen and get your little Filmora cut.
It may not be. It may be unedited, but hey, Ray is here. So Ray, we were just talking about we were just talking about movies and how the high price of movies and how people aren't going to movies. And I stated you are the exception because almost every weekend you and Nicole and or Evan are heading to movies and how expensive it is. And you could probably validate that because I know this weekend.
I feel like I remember Ray saying that they were part of like a movie program.
No, I thought that was Mr. Lewis.
Well, I thought Ray was a part
I
of
thought
that
that
too.
Mr. Lewis had some sort of movie scam, but I thought Ray
did, but I thought Ray did too.
I thought Ray told me in Discord a few days ago that they were thinking of going to see a movie on the weekend, but I could be wrong.
See, Ray, you're not even here, and we're talking about you.
I don't remember what movie Ray was going to go see, but I thought they were talking about going to see a movie on the weekend.
There was a movie that happened today. It was called the Canadian Grand Prix.
Let's go.
And Max Verstappen won again. This isn't anything new.
6 out of 9 races he's won.
Jesus.
Bad Boys did better this weekend. Okay, Bad Boys. Okay.
Right. How did he make it climactic this week, Jeff? He always likes to toy with everybody.
Yeah, there was a yellow flag with a few laps left, 11 I think, and so it just came down to the end. So
Ray said,
you do have movie passes. Okay. I stand. Okay, all right. I stand.
Who pays attention to Ray?
Not me. I knew Mr. Lewis did. I honestly did not know Ray had movie passes. That's cool. All right. Well, no wonder he goes and sees so many damn movies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You kind of have to. You kind of have to be baked into it in order to get them. So.
That makes sense.
We've talked about all these streaming apps and stuff a few times, and this was an interesting story that they were talking about because where all of these different streaming apps try to take you away from cable, they now have basically just made a cable box again that's for your choosing, right? So it's not like you get bundled into certain programs that you may not want, which cable used to offer. Now you can pick and choose, but by the time you get all of them, basically just have cable. You just have a bunch of channels in your box that you're paying for so many different ways now. So, and it seems like there's more and more of these coming. They either change their name or they bundle together, loop together. So,
the big sports one coming in the fall. The big sports one coming in the fall with the ESPN and the
sports one.
Yep.
Disney and
Yep.
So.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong. I know this irks Crow, and I know it irks a bunch of other people I've talked to.
Well, I mean, it does, and yes, it gives you a little bit of flexibility and freedom, right? But it's like, for example, we have Spotify. Spotify was $15.99 a month, and I just got a email the other day said they're taking it to $19.99 a month. Not just your normal dollar increase. I mean, a full-on $4 increase per month. And it may not seem like a lot. Yeah, $4, right? $4 adds up, over the years, over the time. My wife instantly was like, we're going to cancel. We're going to go to Apple Music. And it's like, everybody's got playlists built. Like you've become accustomed to using it, right? I use it for all the stuff I use. And at the end of the day, I had to tell myself this: for $20 a month, Jeff, you used to buy records and CDs and tapes, cassettes and things, right? Especially when CDs came out. CDs were anywhere between $12.99 and $20, and I was getting at least a CD a month. So it still is a value, but when it stacks on top of everything else, it is. Yes, they can. Yes, they can, Crow.
Oh, I am sure Apple Music and Spotify have made it very easy for you to go from one service to the other. Oh, you're signing up with us, but you use them here. Let's suck everything over. I'm sure they have mastered
They want to go to Apple Music, but I use Android, man, and that Apple Music app for Android is horrible. It's horrible.
I didn't know there was one.
horrible. So I don't want to do that. So Spotify's got us hook, line, and sinker. We're done.
I just the other day downgraded my Netflix account because my $9.99. I went to the $5.99 with ads.
Nice.
It's not free.
Yeah,
there's no free. There's no free. Don't get me wrong. There is no free. I went to because again, there's only a handful of movies I watch on Netflix, and I guess I'll have to put up with an ad when I watch Beverly Hills TV, 4. Bro.
I have YouTube TV, but I don't have YouTube Premium, so
there you go.
Maybe that's the way to go, and just lock into the.
Then you get no ads when you watch my content.
There you go. I usually only make the first ad and then I cut it off anyway. So.
Oh well, thanks.
NFL going to trial. California of all places. Oh boy, California. We gotta love them.
This is Ray.
Yeah, it is.
This is Ray. This has Ray written all over it.
A lot of antitrust lawsuits lately. You're starting to see more and more of these because I think that's the maybe entry point for people to get their case in front of people that can actually like listen to it. Sunday Ticket is now on YouTube TV. Mm-hmm. If you have your team playing in your local market, but they don't reach a certain attendance threshold, the game can be blacked out, but it would still be available on Sunday Ticket. And you can't just buy the one game on Sunday Ticket. You got to pay for the whole freaking season, right? Which is $300 or something right now. So somewhere somebody got their trousers ruffled by this. Something happened, and now they've decided to take them to court over it and say, you're cornering the way that we can watch our team.
Smells like a 49er fan. Smells like a 49er fan.
You got a point, but I guess I would need to know a little bit more about this because, your local market is always going to play your games, unless it's blacked out for whatever reason. But if you're a 49er fan and you live in Washington, D.C., and you're bitching because you can't watch the 49er game, that's a little bit different. That's not your local market, right? And Fox and CBS have always been about the local market or the nationally primetime game for that time slot. It's been like that forever. As long as I can remember, that's the way it's been, right? So somewhere, some way, somebody got a little upset that they couldn't watch their team, and now
got their knickers in a twist, and we're going to see what happens.
Sunday Ticket, yeah, they're going to see what they get. They'll get some money out of it or something. Who knows?
Oh yeah. But the whole thing is going to change anyways because the media rights are all up for bid again, and you know now you're going to be able to watch 2 games on Netflix, and there's probably going to be something happen, and certain people aren't going to be able to watch those for whatever reason, and so yeah.
Jeff, how would you like to go to work every day and literally just roll out of bed and go to work? Oh,
I do.
We do that.
We do
that already.
We do that now.
But we don't quite have this view. And so Real Madrid, famous soccer club, Real Madrid, is already preparing Mbappe's private suite at the practice facility. This thing is bigger than some people's houses.
Who is this guy?
He's only going to be the greatest soccer player that ever lived. He will be.
I thought that was that other guy I don't like.
I said one day he will be. He's only 25 years old, 24 years old. He's got some time still, but he's smashing records already. But yeah.
But I thought it was that other guy. That other guy I don't like who won't come to Canada.
Messi. So it's pretty crazy, man. Really rolling out the red carpet for Mbappe to be a part of Real Madrid after his departure from Paris Saint-Germain. Did you know that?
So, speaking of gaming, I sent Ray on the PC gaming show this afternoon. There is what is it called, Ray? I forget what it's called. Civi something. It's like a soccer team management simulator or something. You have to actually, you don't play the game, but you got to build and manage like the team or something. It looked really cool. I sent it over to Ray because I know Ray likes the kicky the ball one. And I know he was playing the competition to the EA Sports game, which anybody in playing any competition to EA games, I'm happy for. But I sent this over because that'd look kind of interesting. You know, it's another simulator, but you're actually like running a sports team or something. I forget exactly what I sent Ray because that was hours ago. So
I didn't put it in the show this week, but if you were paying attention to the soccer tournament, the TST was going on this weekend in Cary, North Carolina, which is right up the street from my house. That's the headquarters of Epic Games. They had a bunch of 7v7 going on, full field, smaller goal. Pat McAfee had a team. JJ Watt had a team.
Was it
Chad
Friday?
Ochocinco had a team. There were many of the women's national team players that had teams. Some college players were involved.
Why wasn't Riley? Why wasn't Riley there?
We had graduation, Jeff. We had a few things going on this week.
I mean, participating.
Tomorrow is the championship for the men and the women's. $1 million prize on the line. So pretty cool. That's happening in our backyard. Second one they've done in a row. So maybe next year I'll get to get over there and see Mr. McAfee, Jeff. Maybe I'll get on the show for the brand. Woo!
Friday, I think the show on Friday, it was him, his game on Friday, I think, on
he had a great assist. Did you see his assist?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, very nice assist.
Because I clicked on it, and I think I saw the description that said live from the TNT or whatever it's called, and TST. I'm like, nope, I move it on.
Yeah.
Oh yes, UFL, this new other soccer game Ray says it plays like FIFA. So there you go.
Oh, nice.
And Maxim Football is coming out with a beta as part of the Steam Next Fest. That
been
is
a lot of chatter
a
lot of chatter I've seen on X past few weeks about that game. So
which one? UFL?
No, Maxim. The Maxim Football. Yeah.
Demo comes out tomorrow as part of Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad news here. Avalanche Studios Group, after nearly over 2 decades, they had to go ahead and shut down their locations in New York and Montreal. So that's about 9% of Avalanchers worldwide. So, more cuts. We've talked a lot about them over the past couple of months. We haven't seen actually in a few weeks. So this one happened to catch the eyes there. So hopefully those folks will find some new employment soon. They've got the college football playoff schedule out for next year, Jeff. I know you're psyched about this. You're going to be playing all of these games in that new game here shortly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Monday, January 20th. Put it on the calendar. National Championship, 7:30 p.m. See, look for advertisements on the fields. The UFL. Big job by them this year, merging the USFL and the XFL, right? It brought even more talent into the pool, which was really good to see. This is your all UFL offense for the year. So nice job by these gentlemen here.
Yeah, there were some other awards. I should have got you all the graphics, but I didn't because I suck. But Brahma's head coach, coach of the year, and is taking them to the championship game next week. I thought St. Louis would handle them handily, but clearly I was wrong, and I was not encouraged by what Birmingham was doing yesterday. But thank God they had Air Coryell come in and take over and win the game for them over the MVP, Adrian.
I love how they've had games on Saturdays and Sundays. That's been nice, Get a little bit here, a little bit there.
So next Sunday, the UFL Championship, the Birmingham Stallions will be the first pro NFL team to win 3 championships in quite a few years, possibly.
Interesting.
And the Brahmas are looking to stop that. So I am picking the Stallions all the way. But
of course you are.
I was on the Brahmas bandwagon for a while when they had Destroying until he got hurt.
Yeah. Then you couldn't watch it anymore.
No, but So, anyways, next Sunday, and a UFL champion. I came third in my UFL fantasy. In my fantasy,
you did third. Nice.
I came third in my USL out of 10 teams. I came third.
Nice, good job for you. Hey, Trina McGee.
Who?
She's 54 years old. She was an actress in Boy Meets World all the way back in the 90s, Jeff. Long time ago for you, I know.
Never watched it.
But she is pregnant, so congratulations to Trina. We've talked in past shows about Robert De Niro and Al Pacino having babies late in life. Well, 54 might seem like it's a little later in life for females, so good for her for, being able to go through this. I think it's great.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, right? Like, I'm 42 and I can't think about having another kid. Like, I don't know. Yeah, everybody's got a different situation, and I think once you get to have too many of them, it's more about just like feeding the population. I don't know what her situation is, but I just think it's fascinating. 54 years old and able to come to terms. So, we'll see that she's going to go to term soon. She's pregnant, but pretty cool. Ray's over there like, Trina McGee, I had a huge crush on her when I was a kid. I know it. I know that's what he's saying.
I stand by my who?
And NHL Stanley Cup. It is the furthest distance between opponents in Stanley Cup history. 25-41 on the mileage there. So definitely going to be some air miles traveled between these first 4 games. Florida got out to one last night. I know we're not going to talk about it or anything. Connor McDavid had 6 shots on goal. Just saying. He's trying, Jeff. He's trying. There's a lot of pressure there.
Luka had a triple W and 30 points. He still couldn't win today.
Hey, sometimes it's not just one guy. I thought this was cool. You've got the Stanley Cup doing an alternate broadcast for the deaf community. So they have some sign language interpreters that are going along to the side of the announcers. So very, very cool, to incorporate as many people as we possibly can. Just because you can't hear doesn't mean you still can't enjoy what you're looking at, right? So
that is on. There's they have a plus version of the sports channels, and that's where it's airing. And I don't subscribe or pay for that, so I couldn't take a look at it. But they did show some clips on the main broadcast. They did show a couple of clips of it last night. So.
Oh, it's so cool. So I mean, you see the interpreters at like the award shows, at like concerts and things. It's just another way. I think it's cool.
It's very cool.
We talked about the Utah.
Very inclusive.
It is. We've talked about the Utah hockey team moving from Arizona. They're trying to find their name. So they're letting their fans help pick the name. They had a huge list of options here. You can see a lot of them have been crossed off now. They're down to 6. So the Utah Yeti, the Utah Blizzard, the Utah Outlaws, the Utah Hockey Club, the Utah Venom, and the Utah Mammoth. And we've got a couple of the logos here. That's what we're going to close this section out with today. So here's the Outlaws picture. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. You've got the Blizzard. I don't know. I think when I think about team names, I'm like, it's,
that's the one I like.
The Colorado Avalanche against the Utah Blizzard.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that one?
I do.
How about the Utah Mammoth? Could you imagine a big mammoth mascot coming out, sitting in the gold, and then being like, "It's a mammoth"? You've seen that? It's the Walrus commercial.
No, we don't have those in Canada.
How about the Utah Venom? I don't think of snakes when I think of Utah, but I'm sure that they're there. This is my favorite one. The Utah Yeti. Tell me that wouldn't be the coolest mascot ever.
But nobody likes the Gritty.
Oh, everybody loves Gritty. What are you talking
Nobody
about?
loves Gritty.
Everybody loves Gritty.
Ray, do you
love Gritty.
Yes or no, Gritty? Do you love Gritty or do you hate Gritty? Ray, break the tie.
Poll.
We should
do a poll.
We should.
Or you just go with the Utah Hockey Club.
That's just stupid.
Just keep it simple. So we'll see. They're going to be doing some votes on this in the.
Why not the Utah? Weeks. Why not the Utah Mormons?
I mean, why do they have to be just Mormons from Utah?
I don't know.
We don't have like the Cincinnati Catholics.
They should.
Yeah.
Are there Mormons in other places other than Utah?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right. That
wraps it up. We got some 5 guesses now, so you're giving them to me this week. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, my phone died.
Crow likes the Utah Outlaws. Crow likes the Outlaws. That was a cool logo. I liked the logo.
What's the cool?
I'm thinking about the mascot as well.
I keep thinking Red Dead on Ice, and I just have a hard time. I have a hard time.
Red Dead on Ice. That would.
I have a hard time with Red Dead on Ice. I have a hard time with Red Dead on Ice. Oh, man. My phone died.
So what are we doing?
My phone died. I don't have my.
You don't have your notes.
I don't have
because
my
your
notes.
phone died.
Because my phone died.
Because his phone died.
My phone died. I just looked over I went to grab my phone and my phone died. Okay, here we go.
That's all right. You don't need a phone.
Everything is in the cloud. Everything is in the cloud. So luckily I can just go to the cloud and I can pull everything.
Utah polygamous. Oh man,
that's a good one. That's a good one, Ray.
I think they should be the Johnny Utahs myself.
No, there you go. There you go.
You know who Johnny Utah is?
I don't.
Do you ever remember a movie in the 90s called Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze?
Vaguely. I never saw it.
Keanu Reeves' character was a former high school football quarterback legend that got hurt. His name was Johnny Utah.
Well, there you go.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
A little movie trivia for you.
Awesome. All right. Are you ready? Doing your intro?
I am. All right. It's now time for 5 guesses.
All right.
There you go.
Are you ready?
Done, son. I'm ready. What you got for me this week? Nothing, apparently.
Apparently nothing. Hold on one second. Why?
Oh, man.
Why?
Well, if you're going to do that, I'm going to move some stuff around.
Is it utility?
I
don't know. All right. Okay. We're doing a top 5. Back to a top 5 list. You have to guess the top 5. You ready?
Born ready.
Top 5 best fictional sibling duos. So top 5 fictional duos. So for example, you can't say Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez because they're well, no, but they're real people.
Okay.
They're real people, right?
You.
Whereas this is top 5 fictional duos, family duos. So,
okay. Is it TV shows, movies, anything?
Yes, anything.
Okay. Yeah. How about Luke and Leia Skywalker?
I couldn't find. My phone's dead, so I don't have the original. My top list. They are not in the top 5. It's a good guess, but they are not in the top 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they are not in the top 5.
How about Bart and Lisa Simpson?
They are number 5.
Number 5. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 5.
Number two might be tough.
This might not be the appropriate answer. Is like the Brady Bunch an answer? No. Okay, because they're not really like you want it like an individual.
Yeah.
Brother and sister.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Bart and Lisa.
They're number
Luke
5.
and Leah weren't on there, huh?
I can't. My phone's dead, so I don't have the original. I only have the 5 I caught. How
about Ren and Stimpy?
They are not. But
I don't know.
There is another famous brothers cartoon duo on there.
Beavis and Butthead.
Which my son and I are excited about the 2 new seasons coming of this show. It's not them.
It's not Beavis and Butthead?
It is not Beavis and Butthead, but it is another fictional brothers who Bigglemac and I are very excited about 2 new seasons of this show. And it's also apt that for you it's summer vacation.
Was it like Phineas and Ferb?
They are number 1.
Are you serious? I love that show.
I know. Great show. I know. It's 104 days of summer, of 100 vacations. Well, when I do I have? Is he here? Is he close by? I had a Doofenshmirtz. When I reset everything up, I have a Doofenshmirtz sitting next to my desk. And on Stadia, my husky dog on Stadia, his name was Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz.
Yep.
He's the man. Okay, so we've got Phineas and Ferb
at number 1.
At number 1.
Yep.
I would have thought Bart
and this list came from Puberty, Pubity. This is the Puberty list. My phone is dead, so I can't show you the.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Man, this is
so
tough.
The number 2. I've never seen the franchise. I have never read the books. I have never watched the movies, nor have I played the game.
Is it the Lannisters?
Who?
The Lannisters.
Who are they?
Jamie Lannister and what's it? Lannister from Game of Thrones? No.
No, but I haven't.
You were saying movies and books. That's where I went.
Yeah, no, because these are movies and books, but I have not seen the movies. I have not seen the books. I did not play the game like Sierra did, and I will not be getting the new game that was announced this weekend.
To Harry Potter?
Fred and George Weasley. Yes, Weasley.
Oh.
I had to write that down and make notes because I have no idea who they are. But for the Harry Potter people, they're apparently they got the picture I saw had orange hair, red hair, or something. I don't know who these people are, but that's who was number 2. So
how about the Jetson kids?
No.
Damn.
Elroy
so
where are we at? We have 1, and that was number 2. So you're missing 3 and 4. 3.
I really can't believe Leah and Luke aren't in there, man.
Not in this top 5, anyways. Again, it's all based on fan voting, so obviously people, more Potterheads came out and voted.
Well,
yeah, but these two brothers are in the Marvel universe.
Brothers in the Marvel universe. Brothers. Who the hell's a brother in Marvel? Thor and Loki? That's who it is?
Thor and Loki are number 3.
Thor and Loki.
Hang on, let me do that again. Thor and Loki are number 3. I drank.
That was a good one.
Yeah, and so you got number 4 left.
Superman and Supergirl.
Nope. But it was a TV show back in the day.
Gilligan's Island.
And
that was a TV show. Leave It to Beaver.
There's a
Beaver Beaver.
No.
Beaver the Cleaver. No.
Nope. What are we, Todd?
We are grown.
And I'm using the word loosely with quotes. What are we?
Yeah, that's what we are. Yeah. I mean, I can think of a lot of things here, Jeff, that we are.
There's a boy and a girl.
Oh, I'm the boy. Boy and a girl. Boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm. From a TV show in the 90s.
Yeah. Boy and a girl. Boy and a girl.
There's a commercial with Jerry Seinfeld when he talks about maybe it's not a commercial, but there's some clip of Jerry Seinfeld talking about stealing other people's ideas, and he goes, "You mean like this TV show?" So he's accusing this TV show of stealing the idea from.
He's accusing Coffee Talk of.
No, he's accusing this show that has the siblings in it.
Oh.
I hated the show. I hated everybody in the show. I cannot believe they paid them upwards of $1 million an episode.
Is it the Kardashians? No.
Well, they're real people. They're not fictional.
Well, I don't know. Are they real?
Well, maybe. There were 5 of them, and one of them is dead now.
There were 5 of them, and one of them is dead now. Is this 90210?
Nope.
No.
Close. Close.
Yeah. Melrose Place?
Nope. The other one. Based out of New York.
Based out of New York. Seinfeld? Oh, Friends. Ross and what's her face? Courtney Cox's character.
Yep. Monica.
Really?
According to this fan vote, that is what they said. Yep.
Not Luke and Leah?
No.
These fans.
I don't have my phone. I can't find. I gotta go back and find the original list that had it.
Man.
But yeah. According to this,
Phineas and Ferb was number
one.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And there's a new season coming out. I think is it this year?
New season of Friends coming out?
No, Phineas and Ferb.
I'm just playing.
2 new seasons of Phineas and Ferb coming out. Gignac and I are so excited. I was flying somewhere. I don't remember where. And there was a little boy. He was going to the washroom with his parents. And he goes, "Look, he's watching Phineas and Ferb." And because I was sitting there on the plane watching Phineas and Ferb. I loved Phineas and Ferb. Yep, Crow got it, friends.
Good.
I loved Phineas. I love Phineas and Ferb.
Look, I used to love when my kids were kids because I would start watching TV with them and I'd get hooked on their cartoons. Next thing I know, they'd be asleep and I'd just be sitting there stuck.
Phineas and Ferb was a great show.
It was.
It was a great show.
Woo!
That was the list. That was good. Luke and Leia was a solid answer, but apparently more Potterheads came out and voted for whoever the hell the Weasleys are. Again, Fred and George. I'm going to have to ask Sierra who the hell Fred and George Weasley are because I don't know.
Amazing.
I don't know.
That's amazing. Well, I thought that was a good list. I was stumped. So thanks for that.
That was good.
We got Father's Day next week, so maybe you'll have some good
there might
stuff
be video
there.
So they have the ramp the kids use. So Big Ol' Mac, we've got it all mapped out how my dad can do it. So we'll have to see. And he says if his legs feel up to it, to do it, then he will. So
that's awesome. Well, I hope he feels okay, even if it's not for that, just so that you all can,
Friday at the retirement home is the big barbecue. So we're all going out for that. Me and my 2 brothers and him. And
nice.
So we'll all, nice. God help the world. The 3 of us are going to be in the same place at the same time.
So are you not streaming all 3 days this week?
This week is good. I'm here every week. Yep, I'm here every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Next Wednesday, I'm out of town for a conference, so I'm gonna hopefully have some video, and then because I have this big Canada Day celebration, we were planning a meeting for the Tuesday, and so I emailed I texted the chair. And I said, "Hey, just so you know, I won't be around on the Tuesday for the meeting because I'm going to be in Toronto." Then I got a meeting invite for the meeting. She set it for Monday. So, do I take 2 days off and not stream from my mental health?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe you don't.
Meeting goes till 7.
Man.
Depends on if there's food. If there's food, then the meeting run longer because people, can't eat and talk. It's a whole shit show. So
not at all.
I have to see. That means I gotta make 4 hours of recorded content the next week. I don't know if I can do that.
Oh man, you don't make content within content to have at the ready on standby just in case. Not the Jeff Gignac I know.
I know. I think I would have stuff, but it's Steam Next.
You're not just gonna.
So
you're not just gonna live stream from your meeting. You know.
I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I could. I
bet you do.
If there was a way that I could get Crow to run the Red Dead stream and just you guys go play Red Dead without me, if there was a way, then I can just guys, they can all play poker and then I can roll in and then we can do a call to arms. If there was a way to physically get Crow to run the stream for me, I probably would.
Probably.
I don't know. I'll have to talk to Bigglemac. Bigglemac could start it. I could have everything all set up, and the Bigglemac just has to push go live.
Yeah, I think you could figure it out.
And then just yeah. So we'll have to see. But yeah, Monday Red Dead. Wednesday I've scheduled Abiotic Factor. We got to get back. Will and I are going to get back into that. And then Friday is part 2 of the Golden Compass.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Right after this, as soon as I end this, stay around. 11 minutes of the new game that is coming out on July 1st called Crestfallen. It is a medieval survival game. It is pretty cool. I had to collect a bunch of stuff. I outfitted myself, and then I went out and started killing things and solving stuff. It's pretty good. So, and it's a multiplayer. So if people like it, we may put it on and we may play it in the future. So that is going to come up as soon as I end the stream, which I'm going to do right now. You got anything going on?
There we go.
You got nothing going on, right? Kids are done school. Girls done.
Going to be
never to return.
Trying to get some R&R this week, man. I need to catch up on some sleep. I need to catch up on some stuff around the house, and I got to jump back into work because I took those last 2 days off last week. So I have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. So
there you go.
Should be around a little bit, but definitely going to try to relax a little bit. So
sounds good.
Should have the time.
Excellent.
All right. Hey, thank you all for watching.
Thanks, everyone. There's still 12 people kicking around. See ya.